Hello friends, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I'm out and about, gonna run some errands, gonna make probably a couple videos, different ones. Gonna make one with the Insta360, gonna do a 360 video ride through Georgetown. I really like that little town, so I'm just gonna do a quick little ride through there. I've noticed that I did one 360 video and posted it the other day, a couple days ago, and it took a long time. I mean, it's a very big file to download. It took like a day and a half before it rendered completely on the upload for YouTube. And I use the computer and my mobile to check it out, and I also use my son's VR headset, the Oculus Quest 2. On the cell phone and the computer, at this point, it's pretty clear. You can see like names of businesses that I'm passing by, and it's pretty clear. But for whatever reason, the transition on the VR headset, watching that video on YouTube through the VR headset, it's very pixelated. It's fun. I mean, you're sitting on the cockpit, and if you look back, you can see my giant head. But it's not so clear. I think there must be a way to download it directly into the VR headset and watch it through the VR headset with its own software, not watching YouTube through the VR headset, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. But I did, at least one person did watch it using a VR headset and said it was kind of fun. Just the wind noise. And that's something I'm going to do the Georgetown one. It shouldn't be a factor because I'm going to delete the audio track from the Insta, so you'll just see the video, and I'll have a separate track running from underneath my seat, so you'll just hear the engine sound as I go through that. So that should be better. Nope, shouldn't be much wind at all in that one. So now I'm just going to the bank. My son had a birthday and he got some check from grandma, so I gotta go cash that for him. I'm gonna get some gas, and then I'm gonna just make some videos. So I'll catch you back in a little while. Okay, I finished a couple errands, and I'm just cruising, heading towards Georgetown. So yesterday I went and got my 12,000 mile tune-up or check-up, whatever you want to call it, for my BMW R1250 RS. It's an expensive one, so I think you've got the 600 miles, the first one, then the 6,000, and then 12,000. And 12,000 they do valve, they open up the motor and do the valve check and replace the plugs and do some other stuff, so it gets a little bit more labor intensive. And I also got 2 new tires. Metzlers were on the bike. Those are the stock tires, and those things lasted me 12,000 plus miles, so can't really complain too much about that. But I got Michelin Road 6s, and what I can say so far, I've got 50 miles maybe on these tires. Not even. I can check the computer later, but it's definitely less than 50. Those Metzlers I had on, I had them on for so long, and I'm not a crazy, rider doing burnouts and all kinds of crazy stuff. So the tread, I'm pretty easy on the tread, conservative rider. So although the tread lasted, on the back tire especially, there was definitely some meat. I'll see if I have some old pictures, or recent old pictures anyways, of the tires, so you can see the tread. But what happened obviously is the back tire got squared off, and the front tire, just saying hello to a Harley rider there. The front tire got worn way down much faster, and it was all cupped and uneven from the brake pressure and turning. The front tire usually takes kind of a beating. So my first impressions of these Michelins, these Road 6s, I read, so many great things about them. The guy that I deal with at BMW, my buddy Nick over there, he uses them on all his bikes and had been using Michelins for a long time, Road 5s and all that stuff. But the thing I didn't, as a relatively new rider, this is my first set of new tires on this bike, so I wasn't prepared for what happened. When I drove away from the dealership, I was expecting, like, these things are gonna, and Nick even told me, oh, this is gonna transform your bike. It's gonna be like a new bike. And I drove away, and what I didn't realize is that I had become accustomed to riding around on cupped front tire and a squared off back tire, to the point that I became so accustomed to how it moves and turns and how it drops into turns, and that when I got these new tires on, the contact area of new tires is going to be very small because they're rounded. So the patch that the tire is actually touching is very small and narrow, and as you lean the bike, that travels with it. And my old tires, because they were squared off, it's like I'm going through this turn right now with basically one hand. It's just like so nice. But anyways, my old tires were so squared off that the patch touching the ground is a lot bigger, and it's much harder to kind of get the bike to drop into a turn. But I was used to it, so it wasn't. I didn't think there was a problem. I would just lean into the turn, push on the handlebars, and do all that fun stuff, counter steering, all that. So if you can envision, and this is for new riders, of course, because people that are watching this, I know there's a few friends that watch this that have much more experience than I do. I think they just get a kick out of what a newbie I am. But if you envision, a pinhead, on a table, moving that pin back and forth is very easy because there's such a little part of the pin touching the table compared to like the reverse side of a tack and trying to move that. So right out of the dealership, these tires kind of scared me. I went into the first turn and I thought I was going to fall over because the bike just went so fast into the turn. It felt like I was going to lose traction and just wipe out. It scared the crap out of me. Like I said, I'm less than 50 miles into these new tires, and now I'm getting used to them, and it's just it's like an effortless. And what I learned from that is the fact that even though my tires had, especially the back tires, still had a lot of tread on it, enough tread. Once they start getting squared off, if you want that nice sensation of riding a motorcycle and having, your bike just effortlessly drop into cornering and turns, and the way these grab. I haven't ridden these obviously in wet yet, and that's a lot of people say these are awesome in the rain. But yeah, anyways, that's a little newbie lesson there that I learned by myself. But so far I'm very happy with these. The bike is just like, I just move my hips a little bit and the bike just goes back and forth like on a cloud. Very nice. But later on, let me get my invoice when I get back home, and I'll go over the 12,000 mile tune-up with you for those that are interested. What I paid, I did pay a lot. It is expensive. I don't do any of that type of work myself. The bike is under warranty still, so I don't want to mess around with it. Eventually, at some point, I'll get the tools and learn how to do some of these things myself. I've got another year of warranty, a little bit more than a year. And my next tune-up or checkup would be, I think, just an oil change, I believe, and that's about another 6,000 miles. So that'll be a while. Okay, as promised, here we go with the 12,000 mile service from BMW for my BMW R1250 RS. It's quite extensive. Pause, check it out on your own. I'm not going to go through each line. The prices here vary. Some are a little bit more expensive here, and other places it's more expensive. Most importantly, I wanted all this work done at a dealership with certified BMW techs because this is under warranty.
I did a previous video on costs for the 1-year review, which included like insurance and gas and all the other things if people are really interested in learning what it takes to upkeep one of these bikes financially. But have a look, and that's it from this side. On with the video.
Okay, so I made it through Georgetown and just pulled over here on the university down the street. I think this is Southwestern University, or I don't know, I'll find out. Really nice campus, just in the parking lot here. Some people playing tennis. Pretty cool place. But just wanted to talk about my these Michelins a little bit and go from there. Let me turn the camera around. Okay, so here we are in the shade. It's 91 degrees. But here's my setup anyways for the Insta. It's right here, right in my face. So if you watch the 360 videos I loaded before, and I'm gonna load another one, if you look behind, you'll see my big giant head like a planet. But anyways, here's the, let's look at the tires here. I read some people talking about these, saying that they couldn't feel like every crack and rock on the road compared to the other tires. And I can say that's pretty true. I don't really feel too much, any little cracks, or, you know, like the painted lines in the road that say, you know, have an arrow pointing to the left, turn left or something. If those were sticking up a little bit, they would like make my tire swerve. So here's the new back one. This is a 180. I was thinking about putting a 190 on there, but the guy at BMW said you could, but the bike doesn't really like it. It's not really designed, and you obviously won't be able to lean into turns as easily because the tire's fatter. But that's the back meaty new tire. Look at these big grooves, and this is where I think a lot of people talk about the rain. This just grabs rain and water and shoots it right out on those reservoirs. So I don't ride in the rain. It doesn't rain that much here in Texas. And when it does, you kind of get a warning that it's going to. So I don't go out. All right, well, that's it from the parking lot here. Gonna head home. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Later.